This is a test. Ah, ow. Oh, oh my God. Here I am. It's 1 week after surgery. It's Friday. I had surgery last Friday. They placed a tissue expander back in on this side, on my right side, and last June, it's now January, I had an emergency tissue expander removal because I had gotten an infection. My skin had broken, the expander broke through my skin. So that was really unpleasant, to say the least. Unplanned for, unpleasant, and I had to be in the hospital, and I ended up getting an infection. I actually can't really remember the way the infection happened. I'm pretty sure they were, I don't know if it was infected before or after. I mean, I sometimes it's frustrating that I can't remember these kind of things. I don't remember the order in which things happen. I question, like, is it because I've had so much anesthesia in my body? Is it because I've suffered through so much PTSD through this process? I don't really know, but anyway, so yeah, it went smoothly, which is really great. I had a friend with me, and the plastic surgeon who I love at Stanford, he called him and said it went as well as it could have. My platelets were 45,000, and a week prior, and then they took my platelets, and they were pretty much planning on transfusing me. I think they want them to be around 100. I heard 50 or 100, but in either case, they were 45. So they were close, but not quite. So I think they were planning on transfusing me, but they tested my blood during surgery, and my platelets were 75,000, which is really cool. I don't know how that happened. I went to 75, but great. I didn't need to have a transfusion, and then they checked my blood the next day, and my platelets were back down to 50 something. So it's kind of a little mini miracle, I think, that happened for that day. However that works. Grateful not to have to, like to have the platelets available, but not to have to use it because it is risky. Like getting platelets, as I understand it, which is not very much, is that like if you give blood, you're sort of you could get the blood that comes from someone's body, and maybe it's like 1-to-1. But when it's with the platelets, I don't know how many people, but many people need to contribute to make it enough for one person to get a platelet transfusion. So it's high risk in that I'm getting the blood of multiple people at one time. So I was happy not to have that. And then they said it was really, what did they say? It looked really clean in there, which is funny. It's like a garage or something, you know. It's like looking under the hood of the car. Looks clean. I don't know. Surgeons and surgery, it's kind of a funny thing. They probably have a lot of stories about just, I don't know. Anyway, whatever. I find that funny. So that went well. They kept me overnight because of all my problems in the past. Which was good, and I woke up and I was on every like painkiller that they could give me, which is also good, and I felt fine. Yeah, I actually felt really good. And then let's see, that would have been on Saturday. They came in, yeah, they checked me out and everything looked good. There was no swelling. I mean, they put me on an antibiotic right away on Saturday, so. I think from my previous experience with antibiotics and infection, once I stopped taking the antibiotic, that would be when something could, like reveal itself. Maybe there'd be an infection, but I don't expect that there would be. This is great. This is actually the first time. My 2 previous scheduled surgeries were, I got hematomas afterwards, so I went into surgery within 24 hours after the scheduled surgeries. I mean, that's crazy all by itself, Never mind everything else that happened, but yeah, to just suddenly be whisked back in, intubated again, anesthesia, just all of that. So thank God 3rd time wasn't a charm as far as that happening again. So they let me go, and my friend drove me back home, which was great. Yeah, it was nice to spend time with him and have his care. And then, what else was I heading toward? Yeah, I had moments where I was like, what am I doing? why did I make this choice? I can't believe I'm putting another expander back in my body. I mean, oh man, it's just such a hard choice. It's really hard to decide what to do and what's best, and there's so many things to consider. You know, I really have done my best to consider what there is to consider, ask people, find out, gather as much information as I could. And I've said before that, you know, I'm glad I'm not 70 and going through this, because I think from what I can tell, it's a lot harder to go through these things when you're older. Like it's harder to recover, I guess I should say. So, in some ways, you know, being quote young, which, you know, 45, I used to feel young. When I was 43, I felt young, but now that I'm 45, I do not feel young. I feel, oh my God, I don't know what I feel like. At least 60s, 70s, what I would think a person would feel like in their 60s or 70s, but maybe I should take that back, because it could be a lot worse for me then. Who knows? So, yeah, anyway, I guess I was saying that I wondered about, like, God, why would I choose this? But, you know, part of it is that I've been through so much, I want to see it through, and I'm stubborn. And partly, you know, I've gone through so much, like, if it's just around the corner, if I'm, like, seeing the destination around the corner, and I want to keep going, you know, it's like quitting a marathon before you get to the end or something. So, I'm really hoping, and I feel strongly that in 5 years, in 10 years, I'll look back and I will be grateful that I made this choice. So that's what I'm going with. And thankfully nothing else happened. Like, in the back of my mind, if something happened during the surgery, like I got another hematoma or something, I would just be like, you know what, take them out and I'm done. So, yeah, actually, I'm really happy with the way it looks, although I think I have about 250 cc's. It's a pretty small amount, 250, 275, something like that on this side. This side's doing fine, which is crazy because it's the radiation side. I mean, it looks totally weird, but anybody who knows about expanders knows it looks weird. There's nothing like fine about the way it looks, but when it's clothed, you can't tell anything. But anyway, that side's doing fine. And then this side, they basically put in about 100 cc's of air, which I guess that's just standard how they do it. And then they're going to go, I was supposed to go back this week, but anyway, I rescheduled for the 21st of this month, which is in a couple weeks. And then they're going to take the air out and then put in the saline. And I can't remember how the fills. I think it's like 50 to 100 cc's per fill, and I think 100 is a lot. That's a lot to stretch the skin in one go. I think I asked for like the minimum, which means more trips to visit there. You know, and sometimes it's like you want to just get it over with, but we'll see. I like to defer to at least get the input of what they think and then decide from there. Hopefully I'm ready to drive by that point so I can get myself to my appointment. So yeah, one thing that's been really great has been that I have the use of my left arm. Major difference between the double mastectomy that I got last year on Thanksgiving, so a year and 2 months ago, and then this procedure where they went into the same incision, and I have inframammary incisions, so that means under the breast, and I kept the nipple, kept the skin, so I think in the end I'll be pretty pleased with how it turns out. You know, just feeling a little bit normal, and now I get that too, like just that little bit of having your nipple or not having your nipple, you would think like, what does it matter, right? But I do think that is some sort of like retention of the former self, my former self, and who knows, I mean, nipples do not make a woman, but you know, it's something to identify with for sure. Although they look totally different, they don't look the way they used to look, but they don't look like a tattoo. So anyway, I am really grateful because I have the use of my left arm and left hand, and I'm right-handed, so I've just been doing, like, I could go in the shower and I can wash my hair like this if I put my head down, but I'm not supposed to lift my arm this way more than 45 degrees outward, but I can like lift it up here and it's okay. I just can't bear weight on it, and I feel that when I go here. So yeah, I've I've like overdone it, which is sort of in keeping with how I usually am. I try not to, but I just end up doing certain things. I've had a lot of help, and I've felt really supported. I've had a really great friend who lives pretty nearby really nearby. She's come and helped me out a lot, and that's been super great to have her. And then I've had a lot of sweet angel friends come by daily to bring me food, and a couple from afar that did gift certificates or DoorDash, and it's just, I mean, I said months ago, I'm in this landmark seminar around excellence, and one of the things that I have at stake that I really want for myself and my life is community, because I've had a hard time with that where I live, and I've lived here 11 years, so it's kind of insane, but it's the truth, you know? So I've really been feeling that sense of community in so many ways, and I've been really grateful. And my daughter helped me a bunch today, and I was like, okay, follow me around. We're unloading the dishwasher, we're loading the dishwasher, we're doing the washer machine, the dryer, putting away the clothes, you know, we just had this whole list, and it's been helpful. I do so much for her, and I was talking to the RN that came to visit, and I think it was the RN. I've had an RN, occupational therapist, and physical therapist come visit me since I got home a week ago, and that's been super useful too. But yeah, she just, you know, we were talking about how much moms do for their kids, and then suddenly, like, if mom's not doing as much, it's like, wait a minute, what's going on? You always do that. So that's been fun to have sweet conversations with my daughter about just about what I'm going through and like that. Oh yeah, well, I took oxycodone, oh my gosh, which I took last year for pain management, and it was horrid, and I don't think I vomited last year, but I remember I guess nobody likes it. I have this idea in my mind, like, people, you know, get addicted to opioids, or opiates, and they, you know, so they must like it. And then I'm like, when I take that, I feel like, oh my God, I hate this. You know, it's so uncomfortable. So when I was in the hospital, they gave it to me, and I don't know why they didn't give me the lorazepam with the anti-nausea, because I was like in the room by myself. My friend had stepped out, and the nurses weren't there. And I started getting sweaty, you know, when you're about to vomit, and then your throat, like, gets full of saliva, and it's, like, about to come, and, like, I didn't, thank God. My body somehow was, like, able to keep the vomit from coming up, because, I don't know, throwing up right after surgery has just got to be the most painful thing, you know? It hurts to cough, it hurts to laugh, so, I was like, I can't do oxycodone, you gotta give me something else. And so they're like, how about gabapentin? And I'm like, okay, you know, they're like, it's not an opioid, so blah, 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 it's gonna be better. And so I took that when I was there, and we waited to see if there was any reaction, and there wasn't. I just felt this kind of sleepiness, and I was like, oh, that's pleasant, you know, I can handle that. So they put me on that, and then I wanted to get off of that as well. I know you're not supposed to get off the pain meds, because I'm also taking, 650 milligram of Tylenol, 4 times a day, so that's a lot. But I've cut it back already now. A week later, I don't need that much, and in fact, yesterday I think I took it once. But I hurt myself this morning because I was like reaching around and doing something. I put my online resale business on hold for a few days, and then I took it off hold, and I've had some sales. I actually have quite a few that I need to take today. And I just, it's hard. It's just been hard. It's hard not move around and not do the things I need to do. Like, even putting the bath on for my daughter, the fixture is like super tight, and I was like, sweetie pie, you have to come do it. I can't do it. She could barely do it, and she's super strong, young woman. So anyway, I'm trying. I really am. I'm really trying to take it easy. I've been sitting here. I don't even know if anyone's gonna be able to see this, but see this? This is my This is my drawing. This is what I've been working on. It's, that is my time. I sit here. You can't really see, but I have this big window. The sun comes in. I have this comfy couch, and it's just my little resting place. I just feel so peaceful and calm and happy right here. So I purposely take time out to just do something that I love, that I enjoy, that's creative, and yeah, that's been really fun for me, because I made a list this morning, and I don't even know if it's complete, but I was like, what are all the things I have going on right now? Because why do I just constantly feel like it's hard to keep up with everybody and everything? And I was like, well, I have to check my list, because, you know, I have my ladies that get together. We all have had cancer diagnoses, and we get together every 2 weeks. So there's that group, and that's a support system for me. I have this leadership program that actually starts on the 28th of February, but I'm in a seminar right now, and that's the other thing that goes through February, and I have like weekly calls for that. I have multiple things. Then I have my daughter, and she's a competitive gymnast. She's young, she's 11, but she's a level 4. And she competes, and there is a lot of stuff to do with that at times, you know, just keeping up with all the different things with that. And then I have my, I'm a CASA, which is a court-appointed special advocate, and that's an advocate for children in foster care. And I'm feeling very behind on that. I actually really need to do some things on that. And then I have my online resale business, which I'm just getting started on. And that's, I mean, I just, you know, it's like uphill, because I'm still within, a handful of months of starting it or so. And there's so much to learn. I just joined a group with somebody who is outrageously successful. It's probably, I mean, I did a monthly subscription, so it's, which just seems to be the new thing that everybody has available these days. But anyway, he's great, and I just wanted to get some tips for, getting better at that. But that takes a lot of time. Although I've been chilling out on that for the most part. But if I have sales, like, I have to ship them. I can't. But I haven't been listing and stuff. And then my health, which, I mean, my health being at the bottom, it really should be at the top, because, like I said, an RN is coming as well today. I have so many appointments, so many phone calls, so much scheduling, constantly. So, yeah, I mean, I think everybody, the Western life is full of a very busy calendar. For good and for bad, and so it's not like I'm, different than most of the people I know anyway with my schedule, but I just really have to take time out even to breathe. I feel myself like yammering on, and I have to remember, oh yeah, take those deep breaths. I have to go take a walk outside. There is a way in which I do feel like I'm holding my breath, metaphorically, because I want to get through this so that I can get back to being a badass, It's like, I don't know, it's kind of a funny thing, like, why postpone badassery, It's just, yeah, but that's, yeah, I'm just trying to, like, do one thing at a time, take the next step, and know that I can do whatever I want to do. I really believe that. I feel inspired and motivated to live an awesome life. So, yeah, I don't know. Cancer is it's just such a gift, because it really woke me up in a lot of ways to say, and what else is not on here is writing my book. I mean, I should add that, and I will, but I started the process of writing a book, because I really just wanted to document my life. I just wanted to document it really for my daughter, because I really don't know anything about my family. I don't know anything on my dad's side. Literally nothing. And then on my mom's side, I know very little, but I've met somebody recently who's a second cousin, and she knows a lot. But anyway, the point is that I really wanted to have something so that my daughter's children and my daughter's children's children could be like, hey, what's up with grandma, and maybe know something about their family, because family is just, it's really important to me. And it's been something I've just wanted my whole life, is a bigger family. And I'm an only child, and I don't know anything about my family on either side. I did a 23andMe DNA test, and that was super cool to find out information there. So anyway, writing the book was a big part of it, was just to be able to document my life for my kids' benefit. And then cancer happened, and I was like, oh, wow. I started making these videos because I didn't see other videos out there for women that were triple positive. And now I know a lot more people are making videos, and I don't even keep track really of who's making videos and who's not. It's also just been a really healing experience for me just to video journal like this. So, yeah, so now I think it'll be like a little bit of a memoir of my life. I was really moved by the book Gracing Grit by Ken Wilber's wife. And she had a sad, heart-wrenching story. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of the cancer stories don't always end on a positive note, you know, and none of us really know how much time we have, and if I can write a book and get some of my life down for my future generations' benefit, and also just for the benefit of anybody who is going through this can be very tumultuous path, this journey, I guess, journey, whatever it is, process. So we'll see. I need to add book to my list, but yeah, it's been a while. I was like, gosh, I haven't really done a video in a while. Feel like I've been going nonstop, so it's actually really nice to just sit here and share myself. And yeah, I appreciate everybody and anybody who follows and listens and cares, and I feel very grateful. I've had so much help along the way. Some people have helped me multiple times, and it's been hard actually to receive help. Like the first time it feels like, yeah, okay, you know, let's do it. We can do this. Let's help each other. Let's get done what we need to get done. And then after they're like, oh no, can I ask for help again? Like, are people going to want to help? Is there like some social construct that says you can't ask for help a second time? Never mind a third time, you know? And then, God, I'm just like chatty Cathy today. The other thing is that I will have the follow-up surgery, which they call the exchange surgery. That's going to be crazy because they're going to open up both sides, take out the expanders, put in the implants, and my thinking right now is like the smallest implants that they can get away with that work, because the smaller the implants, the lower the risks, the fewer the risks. And then they'll fat graft, which, you know, they'll get the fat from parts of my body and put it in there to help fill it out, because the skin is so thin. You can see the expander. But I don't know when I'm going to do that, and I'm a little bit bereft just thinking about it, because I've got this leadership program that's 8 months, and then do I really want to wait till October? And this has just been such a long process, and I right now have the use of my left arm, and at that time I'm not going to have the use of either arm, and it's going to be like a 6-week recovery, and like, who's going to help me, you know? How am I going to get through that? It's yeah. While I appreciate being home alone, it also it's been a little bit hard to not have my partner that I had previously a year ago was really there for me and did so much. And I think it really took a toll on our relationship, you know, which I know is definitely not uncommon when people go through life-threatening illnesses. So he's, you know, not with me during this time. And, you know, I just have had to figure it out on my own, which is okay, but it's definitely been an adjustment. So with that, I'm so curious how long this video is. I bet I just blabbed on for at least 25 minutes. Yeah, anyway, I appreciate anybody who might be listening at this very end of this video. Thank you. Oh my gosh, can I just say that was exactly 25 minutes and 20 seconds that I was blathering on for. So that was a pretty good guess. I should like go count jelly beans in a jar and make a guess or something.